Welcome back to the Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute podcast studio for another episode of NewOrleans.Football presented by PJ's Coffee. We're next door to Matt Bauer's state-of-the-art Ford dealership. If you're in the market for a car, just drive down the street, stop at one of the many dealerships that says Matt Bauer's, pop in, tell them NOF sent you. They will give you the best price that you can get. And check out Matt's Twitter, too. He has a Guess 'em contest going right now, a Pick 'em contest. Guess the correct score and win $2,500 cash. The tiebreaker is Tradez Green. How many receiving yards does he end up with? The closest without going over. Matt's Twitter is _Matt_Bowers_ $2,500 cash. Just win the pop in there, win some money, and it's a great down payment for a new car. Or you could deposit it into your bank account that you open at Keesler Federal. They're proud to be the official credit union sponsor of the New Orleans Saints. They're a not-for-profit organization, meaning their members always come first. You can enjoy lower fees, better rates, and everything else Saints fans need to help you get one step closer to living your dreams. That's Keesler Federal, the official credit union sponsor of the New Orleans Saints. Got a great show for you guys today. We're going to get you ready for this Bills game, what to watch for, what to look out for, where you should address your prayers to God, and everything else you need to do to get ready for this game. Starting with this topic presented by Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant, also up here on Bets. What do we need to see most from the Saints and Buffalo? The season really isn't about wins and losses, as we know, but what can they do to hit a couple high points?
I'm kind of a broken record with these names, but it's Calvin Banks, it's Tali Fuaga, it's Kool-Aid McKinstry, and maybe you could throw Alante Taylor and Justin Reed in there. It's people who you need to build confidence in to think, all right, there's some building blocks on this team. I'll start with the offensive line as a whole because I think we're going to see Trevor Penning in this game too. So I want to see Calvin Banks, Tali Fuaga, and Trevor Penning reinstill some of that confidence that, oh yeah, this offensive line could be a strength. It hasn't been a strength so far. And it doesn't just need to be okay. It needs to be a strength of this team. And that will, hey, maybe there is a run game. Maybe there is, more for Alvin Kamara to be doing, and obviously it'll help Spencer Rattler too if the offensive line shows up. But it's essential. It's essential to see if this season's going to be worth watching. It's essential for the future. So really, really all those offensive linemen across the board.
Yeah, I want to see the defense kind of come together a little bit more, especially on those key downs. I think that's important at a certain point. And look, there's a talent element here, which we're not going to harp on the talent element of it, but you don't want to see things where it's like, oh, they ran this like crosser underneath the cover four and it held up three guys and he was able to get open right behind it. Like, I don't want to see little things like that. I know Brandon Staley, he seems to feel really good about how his defense is playing, says they aren't giving up explosives, says the yards they aren't giving up is meaningful. I think it's kind of easy to not give up meaningful yards when you're scoring off of block punts and return punts. Yeah. So that kind of takes some opportunity to get off the board. I kind of disagree with that. I mean, I know he feels good about, he said yesterday, hey, look, if it's designed to get a 40-yard gain and they get 8, like we're good with the 8.
You still gave up 8.
Yeah, you still give up 8. You're probably still giving up a first down. Like, I understand the point that's being made. The Patriots won Super Bowls being bend but don't break. A lot of teams do that, and it allows them to eat clock, and you get the meaningful stop and all that stuff. That's great. I don't feel like they're getting enough of the meaningful stops, to play that brand of football. So start getting some of those meaningful stops.
Perfect point.
And I'm good with it.
Yeah, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16, 3rd and 11. I would imagine a defensive coordinator did feel like his plan worked when he got that was 2 weeks ago when he got the 49ers in 3rd and 12 every time they got the ball. And you should keep telling everyone, hey, don't lose faith in this because that's what we're trying to do. But yeah, then you need to make the stop on 3rd down. And it's not just make the stop. You need to not get a penalty on 3rd down. And that's all that sloppiness we're talking about. But yeah.
And you probably feel like it worked when you hold Arizona to 20. Like that's, but it's just, you have to, if the 3rd down, like honestly, if you're Spencer Rattler, you're probably looking at this like, man, if they had gotten like 1 3rd down stop in each of these games, I might have 2 wins right now. Yeah. Like they got to get some of them.
Here's the thing about the defense though is the defense hasn't actually been tested yet because these teams haven't had to put their foot on the gas, and they are playing more than any team I think I remember covering in like my entire era of covering football, the Buffalo Bills they could play lousy for 3.5 quarters, and then Josh Allen could score 3 touchdowns in 7 minutes. Like the Miami game from 10 days ago, Buffalo and Miami played on Thursday night, and everyone was like, wow, Miami is going toe-to-toe with the Bills. And with 7 minutes to go in that game, it was tied, and the Bills won by 10. It's like, you can be proud of yourself, but you got to stop Josh Allen for 3.5 quarters, and you have to stop him for the last half of the fourth quarter too. And I'd be amazed if the defense passes that challenge. That would be pretty incredible. That would be a way to start 0-3 and kickstart your season with one performance. But look, I think we think that's unrealistic. What about Spencer Rattler in particular? I don't think like Spencer Rattler can be benched if he doesn't perform at Buffalo or anything like that. But like what does he have to do to keep the positive momentum going? That I think he lost some of his positive momentum last week with that game being such a calamity. Obviously not all his fault, but like, what do you want to see from Spencer Rattler realistically in this game? A win would be incredible, obviously, but realistically.
Yeah, I think if you can bring it back to kind of how it looked against San Francisco and Arizona, I think you're in fine shape. I think a big part of that, and I hate talking about him because there's just so many people that just don't have the conversations like logically or in good faith. And it's just always like, for some reason, saying normal things is polarizing. If you're like, hey, look, he got put in a bad situation in that game because they were down 21-0 in the blink of an eye and they couldn't get lined up and couldn't get a snap off. And then all of a sudden, you can't even threaten to run the ball against one of the better fronts you're going to see in the league because of the circumstances of the game. You're going to have people like screaming, you're making excuses. And if you say, hey, look, even within that, he made some turnover-worthy plays and probably should have gotten picked off 4 times in the game, people are going to say, well, you hate him and you're doing this and that. It's like, I think Spencer Rattler got put into an absolutely awful situation, and I also think he did some risky things with the ball. I think when you're in that situation, you probably take more risks because you're trying to throw your team back. But you're also a guy that is trying to make a case for a job, and the risk assessment as part of the evaluation. So I think if you just turn it back to where it was, and I'll say this, I think Buffalo, boy, I'm going to regret saying this as soon as the game's over. I don't think their defense is that good. I think their secondary stinks. I think their safeties aren't very good. I think Trey White isn't very good. The other one, the one that plays opposite him, man, he's supposed to be the good corner. He's given up 3 touchdowns this season. I don't think their secondary is great. I think you can go down the field and attack their safeties and maybe get some deep plays. Get a couple of those this week, protect the ball, and like, I'm on board. You look at the quarterback, like the power rankings people do around the league. He's like 20 on the USA Today, 122 on the Ringer. Like, people are up on him. I don't know. I need to see it in this game, though. I think if you hit a couple deep balls, protect the ball, at some point he's going to – what is he, 3 games into it and he's throwing 1 pick and it was a 4th down play?
Like that. It's funny. I don't blame him for that pick, but I think it's fair for him to have a pick on his ledger this year. He shouldn't be a guy who has 0 turnovers the way he's played, but that shouldn't have been the one. And here's the funny thing about, like, I don't want to put words in Spencer Rattler's mouth, but the frustration of that play, it was clear that, like, he came out of that game and he probably thought that was an opportunity to make a play, and he kind of like really did not bite his tongue talking about how we need to work on scramble drills in practice, meaning my receivers weren't there for me on that play. I escaped the pocket, I scanned the field, and that should have been an opportunity. Oh, by the way, Josh Allen does that better than anyone in the entire NFL. And Spencer Rattler was like, all right, I now have this whole field at my disposal, and none of his receivers got open. So he was very frustrated on that play where he was like, I just have to chuck it up because it's 4th and 4, and got burned on that interception. But he has made some turnover-worthy throws. First of all, Christian Benford is the corner you were talking about. But
hold on, one more point on Rattler. I think people just don't. I don't know that we've all, as a collective, recalibrated what's happening with quarterbacks in the NFL anymore either. Like,
how they all, like how Sam Darnold won another game with 240 yards last night.
That's how you win now. Like, Rattler is 17th in the league in passing yards, and he's averaging 213 a game. Baker Mayfield, Or I'm sorry. Who's underneath? Yeah, Baker Mayfield's underneath him at 205.
That's hard to believe. Baker is
Aaron
a guy that threw for almost 5,000 last year.
Aaron Rodgers is at 195 yards per game. Bo Nix is at 178. You know, it's just kind of that's what the NFL is the last couple of years. Like the 300-yard passer is gone. Justin Herbert out of like nowhere is the guy that's now airing it out. And Daniel Jones, when last year Herbert was kind of it felt like being hidden by Harbaugh. He's the guy leading the league in passing now, but and Geno Smith. But yeah, I mean, the 300-yard game is dead, man. Like it's just like 200 yards is what guys do every week now.
That is true. I mean, that's an obvious true trend, but I think it is fair to be disturbed by the fact that defense's approach to the Saints is we're going to make you throw everything underneath. And the Saints have done nothing to scare teams out. I mean, we're going to see that 17 times this year. Like, I mean, maybe we'll see that in all NFL games around the league, and it's a smart way to play defense, period. But the Saints have not made anyone pay for playing that way. And even when the Saints are the one,
to be fair, they hit 2 deep balls in week 2.
Right, so but what I'm saying is if a team's approach is we're going to make you take 12, 14 plays to get down the field, well, somewhere along the way, the Saints are going to penalize them, like have penalties. They're going to have turnovers. They're going to screw up a play. Or when they do get to the red zone, Spencer Rattler's missing those throws to Chris Olave in the end zone. So if teams are telling the Saints, we're going to get the exact opposite of what Brandon Staley said. If the teams are willing to give the Saints 8-yard completions, they're going to do that all year long because the Saints have proven so far they're a team that cannot finish the drive. Like they're not efficient enough.
No question. But I think like even that's like there's just too much of this like it's not happening or it is happening, and it's like they've hit 2 of them. They need to hit more. They aren't completely incapable of doing it. Everybody plays football like that. Yeah. I think we all look at it like he only passed for 208 yards today, and it's like. The whole league passed for 208 yards today. Like there was this whole thing last year where they're like on NFL Live or whatever, like talking about like outlawing too high safety because like
it's like the shift in baseball now.
It's suffocated the game. I mean, that's just the way. This is just the way football is.
Like, but I'm saying like the Saints are never going to stop seeing that. I don't.
No
think.
doubt. No doubt.
And the problem with the Saints is. If that's become the league, you have to become the team that can just get 8 yards every play, and then 15 plays later, you've scored a touchdown. The Saints' biggest flaw, I think, this year is they can't finish.
Here's what
drives.
happens, though, when you go down. Like this is all part of the conversation. Like when you're in a game and you're down by 21 points, you're never going to have an opportunity to go down the field.
Yeah.
When you're against San Francisco and the game's close, you have opportunities to go down the field. When you're against Arizona, you have opportunities to go down the field, and they're getting dropped.
Yeah.
Like. I don't think that it's that they can't go down the field. I think they are getting throws down the field. They're either A, inaccurate, or B, like in situations where it doesn't, you just can't do it. Like when Seattle goes up 21-0, it's like, we're sitting all the way back now. And that's 33% of your schedule. Week 2, they did it. Week 1, he put a 21-yard ball or a 20-yard ball in Juwan Johnson's hands, and it doesn't get caught. I don't think that it's that they can't do it. I just think that they haven't had the opportunities to. But to your point, I don't think they get to a point where it's like we have to be fearful of this either. But they have to move it from all the way from the left to the middle to kind of make it palatable. And he has to hit some of those at some point, at some time, to make it to where he's your starting quarterback. If you don't, at some point you got to stretch it out. I'm totally fine with like not being a team that's constantly airing it out down the field, but you have to be able to do it some to your point. So absolutely, you got to show that it can be a consistent part of your thing. But last week is like, it was just screwed.
Last week's hard, and it's going to skew the numbers for a while too, because
I'm just trying to be fair.
But I will say if we're going to put a knock on Spencer Rattler, the thing that has bothered me most, and this is the thing, I mean, we're giving Rattler a lot of credit for all the things he's done. He's probably exceeded expectations. Like you say, the quarterback power rankings, there's national reporters being like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have been sleeping on Spencer Rattler. He's a real guy. I think all that's true. But now that we're going to judge him like a real guy and say, can he hold on to this job? The red zone's bothered me the most. Chris Olave should have 2 touchdowns this season. He missed both those throws. And so it's almost like that's been swept under the rug because the Saints are so bad at everything this year that we're not blaming him for that. But it used to be that's all we talked about with Derek Carr. That was the only thing the Saints offense was doing wrong for a while, was melting down when he couldn't finish the job in the red zone. So if those opportunities are going to be so precious, then that's where he's going to have to step up his game to keep this job. And so that's something I'd like to see him. Look, he did do it in the game where he had the 3 touchdown passes against San Francisco. He got hot and he finished those drives. That's what he's going to have to do to hang on to this job.
This is a week where you got to make it happen, because I'm telling you, like, their safeties are not good. Like, they aren't good. Like that's kind of the thing. So if you're going to do it, you got to be able to figure out.
And you might not be getting pressure up the middle from Ed Oliver. He hasn't practiced yet this week as of Friday morning.
They still got a Bosa. You always got to look out for a Bosa, no matter when one of those guys are around. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it's huge. But to your point though, like, you absolutely have to show that as, like, some point you can hit it and it can be consistent, and it can't just be here or there. You got to start figuring out a way to open things up a little bit, and that's definitely a big thing for him. He definitely has the arm for it. Like, I don't think he's, like, incapable. That, like, his arm is the thing. It's just got to be on point, and Kellen Moore's got to do a better job of dialing some of that stuff up. Our next one, presented by Chabert Insurance. If the playoffs started today and you could pick any quarterback, who are you taking?
I think Lamar Jackson should have won MVP last year. I think he was just incredible. And I think maybe if I'm building a team and I trust that I'm going to have the coaches and everything like that, I might still lean toward Lamar. He just seems like a cheat code, but I think I've done a full 180 over the last, like, 5-6 years on Josh Allen, and just whenever I watch him play football, I think he's going to score those touchdowns. I think if he's down 14 in the fourth quarter, I believe he's going to come back, or I think he's going to put you up 14 in the fourth quarter. I think I took forever to come around on Josh Allen and really believe it, and I think he's the guy now. I really do.
Oh, there's no doubt he's the guy. I mean, it's still. I think it's still Mahomes for me.
Those are the only three, I think.
I think it's Mahomes for
right
me.
Now.
I think then Allen, and then I'd probably be at a toss-up between Herbert and Lamar. Like, neither one of them have done anything in the playoffs. Like, playoff success means something to me. Like, I got to see you kind of do it there. I think it would be a toss-up there, but, like, that's the big four for sure. No question about it. Those are the 4 guys that I think are in that conversation. And I definitely got to see it from Herbert big time, like, before I put him in there.
You've done a 180 on Herbert. You didn't have Herbert in your top 18, I don't think, to start this year.
Yeah, I did. But, like, you got to see, like, I got to see Lamar win a playoff. Like, when you got to get to the Super Bowl at least, like, at some point, like, to be kind of in that tier. But so does Josh Allen. Yeah. So, like, it's Mahomes at the top for me. Look, the thing about Mahomes is, like, I don't know if we, like, categorized any one thing. If you say he's the absolute best at this one field of football, I don't know that he's the best scrambler. I don't know that he has the best arm. I don't know that he's the best processor. I don't know that he's the number one at anything. But if you lay out all the things, these are the 10 traits you want from a quarterback, like, he's in the top 4 or 5 of all of them. Yeah, and then, like, when you start throwing left hooks at him, he has a good enough right hook to counter it. Like, so he just he's good enough at everything. And I don't know that like, every other one of these guys, it's like, if you take away these things, they're cooked. Like, I think that's what makes Mahomes like Michael Myers.
Funny enough, I was talking to Demario Davis about having a similar conversation this week, and I asked him, I said, who's the best you've ever faced in your career at, hey, we have to keep playing defense even after we've chased the quarterback out of the pocket because he's still going to make that play. Who's the best you've ever faced? And I thought I said, is Josh Allen at the top of that list, or is there anyone you faced? And he was kind of going through, he was trying to think as he answered the question. He said, these quarterbacks used to live in the pocket. And he said, this is kind of like, he said, now everybody's good at it. He said, it didn't used to be. He said, Aaron Rodgers was the first guy that like started giving him those problems. But he said, Mahomes is the best he's ever seen at that. And so I was setting him up for a Josh Allen question. He said that's where Mahomes has made his career. He said is Mahomes keeps a play alive and then kills you. And so that is another thing that is a strength of Mahomes that obviously we see from Josh Allen all the time. I remember even predating Demario Davis, Donovan McNabb was the guy that I think made his career out of doing that too. But they're both in the conversation of doing that. They're never dead. They're never dead.
And secondly on this one, if you're starting a franchise, you can pick one guy who you taking.
Yeah, like I don't know if age comes into the factor here. I mean, I still think it might be Lamar for me because I feel like I've got my whole offense with one guy. Like I need him and I need a good offensive coordinator and then probably some good offensive linemen or whatever. But I feel like Lamar can give you one of the best offenses of the league without the running backs and the receivers necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, like if we're having the same conversation of like who do you want in the playoffs and we're going with guys that are this age, like it's the same answer for me.
Yeah.
Like it's just the same exact grouping of it. Because like if I feel like they're going to win me the playoff game and I got them ahead of them and they're all the same age, basically 28 to 30, I'm going the same way. If you're going younger, it's like weirdly gotten disappointing. Like it felt like there were a ton of young guys and now there doesn't. Like CJ Stroud would have been top of this list like a year ago. Now it's like Jaden, and I don't know who else I would pick. Like Jaden's like feels like the only answer. Maybe you can make a Drake May argument, but like that doesn't even feel close right now. But that's how it kind of goes with these young guys.
Jaden
sometimes.
Daniels is going to have to show us a couple years of it to prove that he's. Yeah.
If you're going down to like the best young guy, I think it's Jaden Daniels, and then there's just like you're flipping 7 pages before you get to the next name. I think like it just feels like he's that far ahead. Drake May's the next one for me. I don't know where Stroud exists in this because it's gotten really weird really fast in that situation.
Caleb Williams all of a sudden had a game the other night.
Caleb's
he could maybe resurrect his candidacy.
But like Jaden's the only one where I'm like, I'm selling out to get that guy on my franchise, I think. And I don't think I'd do it for anybody else.
Hopefully next year's draft class.
Yeah.
Or the one after that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to hit a quick break and we'll be right back. The Ochsner Orthopedics Walk-In Clinic is now open. Located at 1201 South Clearview Parkway, across from the Elmwood Shopping Center, this clinic provides convenient same-day care for a variety of orthopedic and sports injuries. No referral or appointment needed. Whether you need care for strains, sprains, fractures, sports injuries, or muscular pain, the team of orthopedic specialists offers care for patients 5 and older. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodaux, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number 1 grocery store
In Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
For fans of saving money. For fans of big rewards. For fans of getting more for your money. There's Keesler Federal, the official credit union of the New Orleans Saints. Saints fans, open your free high-earning checking and see what it's like to get better rates, better returns, and better service. Join a winning team. Keesler Federal, the official credit union of the New Orleans Saints. Membership and credit eligibility required. Federally insured by NCUA.
The NewOrleans.Football show is proudly presented by PJ's Coffee. PJ's Coffee has some of the best drinks that you can find. They have locations all over the city. They have pastries and everything else you need to get your day started. So go check them out. I don't play favorites with our sponsors on the show, but one of my favorites for sure is RV Masters. You guys have been watching our show lately and you've seen our awesome new van. That thing is decked out. And the best part about it is I took it up to RV Masters and I was like, this is what I want to do, but I had no idea how I wanted to do it or how to get it done. And they took care of it from start to finish, brought me out for updates, were giving me new ideas, and they made it exceed my wildest dreams. And they will do the same thing for you. RV Masters offers full service RV, motorhome, and travel trailer repair. They have preventative maintenance and service packages for your RVs, your AC, your generators. They specialize in solar and lithium upgrades, satellite TV, and Starlink. They'll take care of you if you get into a collision. Whatever you need, they got you. And I can speak from experience because they definitely had us on our new van. I cannot vouch for anyone more than I vouch for RV Masters. RV-Masters.com. Go check them out.
I believe it, I can see it. If it's in my sights, I achieve it. Ain't no leaving, no defeating. Show up, complete and repeat it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Get game ready. Play Game Ready Scratch-Offs and Fast Play from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Enter the second chance drawing for a chance to win up to $1 million.
but I'm like a rocket. And you can never be us. We not afraid of the pressure because we good in the clutch. Yeah.
Get game ready. Play Game Ready Scratch-Offs and Fast Play from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Enter the second chance drawing for a chance to win up to $1 million.
Shawbear Insurance, the Earhart Agency, is a longtime partner on this podcast, but the truth is, I was advertising them to my friends and everybody I knew long before they ever jumped on this show. And I'm going to tell you why. Every 6 months, my car insurance policy comes up, and every 6 months, I get a call from somebody from there telling me I need to change it or stay where I'm at. They're shopping my policy constantly to make sure I am getting the best possible deal. That means money in the bank. And those are the type of people you love because, look, we all live here. We all know how it is. The insurance rates are out of control. You need somebody watching your back. And they actually really do it. And I was with them before they ever asked me to be with them. So they are people that you need to be doing business with. And if you are going to look up their insurance, make sure you are looking for the Earhart Agency. Those are our guys. There's a lot of Shawbear insurances. The Earhart Agency is the one you want. I can speak for them. Real life, real support, real good business, real money saved. Call them up today. Shawbear Insurance, the Earhart Agency. Hardhide flavored whiskey, Ponchatoula strawberry, and Chilton County peaches in your favorite bars, stores, and restaurants. Hardhide Chilton County Peach Whiskey is a blend of aged wheat whiskey, light American whiskey, and fresh Chilton County peaches from Alabama's Durbin Family Farms. And Hardhide Strawberry Whiskey tells the story of a small town famous for strawberry farming. A delicious natural strawberry-infused 86-proof whiskey for whiskey lovers. Just look for the red and orange bottles in your favorite stores, bars, and restaurants. Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football. It is now time for the over-unders presented by the Louisiana Lottery. I feel like they run these back exactly the same.
Because they're exactly right every week.
Every week.
They're right on the dang money every week.
I feel like they run it back. All right, starting at the top, Rattler, over-under 200.5 yards.
Over. He usually goes over. 200.5 is a low number. Like, I'm surprised it's that low. Because has he gotten over there all three times, or he had one under this year? He had one under, but it doesn't matter because even if they play this game perfectly, I would assume they're in no huddle throwing the ball and he gets 100 yards in the fourth quarter of this game. So I'm surprised that number is so low.
I'm taking the over. I think he throws over 200.5.
Yeah, he's gone over that every 218, 207,
Yeah.
214. I don't know why he'd have less receiving yards in a game where they're supposed to be down by 16 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I like this one a lot, actually. Olave, 58.5 receiving yards.
Over. I'm going to keep going over Olave. I mean, he leads the NFL in targets, and he's a guy who should be able to either finally connect on one of those deep balls that him and Rattler have not connected on, or get yards after the catch. He's going to keep getting those opportunities. So I'm very comfortable going over on that.
54, 54, 57.
And I think that's all been disappointing.
Yeah.
He should be a guy that's living in 75 and more. Like,
yeah,
that's what the number should. The number should be closer to 70 every week, and they should be able to fix that, right?
I'm going under until I see it again.
Yeah.
I think I said it last week.
Yeah.
And I agree fully with your logic, but like just for whatever reason. Yeah. And then when they get down the field, like they just aren't on the same page. Like he can't throw an accurate pass to him. I don't know why their rhythm is just off just a little bit. I think it can be tightened up. It's just I want to see it at this
yards. I went down the list of yards per reception among guys with as many targets as he's got, and you have to go page. You start to find some running backs or whatever until you finally get to, I think, Hunter Renfrow is like 25th. He's the next receiver who has less yards per reception with even like 10 targets this year. And he's got,
I wrote that last week. Yeah, they got among guys with like X amount of targets. Like he's Drake London's really low on that list though too. Like he's just been weird in a few places. People just ain't passing, man. Like they just like it's just the way it's going now. Shaheed 36.5.
And look, I'm a broken record on this one. Like I am less confident in his role in the offense, which shocks me because we watched training camp, we watched OTAs, we watched mini camp, and I came away from that thinking, man, they are really going to feature Shaheed in this offense. I almost thought he would have more targets than Olave based on what we saw all spring and summer. And instead, he's kind of disappeared. But I think he can hit 38.5 with one catch a game, and he did that 2 weeks ago. So I do feel comfortable, especially in a game where I think, like I said, I think Olave could have 50 and Shaheed could have 40 in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah, I'm over on that one. What do they have for the rushing yards for 50.5 Alvin rushing yards?
See, now that's where I'll go under. For all the exact opposite reasons of what I've said. I think they're going to be abandoning the run game. So maybe they won't be able to run, and if they are able to run, they might stop running anyway because of the scoreboard.
Yeah, I don't know on that one. I mean, it's tough. Like you said, I think they got to be in position to be ahead and kind of really stick with it. Alvin Kamara, we'll go this one too. Not just receptions.
Yeah.
0.5 screen pass receptions. I'm going to take the over on it because I asked about this yesterday, and it seemed like Doug Nussmeier got irritated as hell that I asked him why they have not thrown a single screen pass to Alvin all year, and I think they're gonna throw him one this week.
So let's pretend like they're driven by their like. How dare you ask that question?
That's how it felt.
Does that mean they do it? Because doing it would prove you right.
I just think it's an insane. It's
one of the most shocking statistics of the season. They do know he's Alvin Kamara, and he looks like Alvin Kamara this season too. Like if I watched Alvin Kamara on the first series of the season, I would have thought, oh shoot, we should get him the ball 10 more times. He looks like he's being shot out of a cannon this season. You should be designing your game plan to figure out ways to get the ball in his hands. I can't believe they haven't thrown a screen pass to Alvin Kamara this year.
Yeah, and someone can be like, oh, he's old, he's washed or whatever.
He doesn't look like
No, like last year he caught 12 of them for 188 yards. He broke 4 for explosive plays. Like he was one of the best screen runners in the league last year. Going over he has. It's just unbelievable to me to not be doing it, and it's not even like a Kellen Moore thing. Like they didn't throw a lot of screens last year to Saquon because I think Saquon's not great at catching the ball. But with Austin Eckler, they threw 19 in 2023. Like it makes absolutely zero sense to not be using some of those. They've thrown 7 wide receiver screens. Almost all of them have failed to work. I don't get it when you have a guy that's a specialist at this one thing. Well, he's a specialist at many things, but particularly in this area, it's kind of like the thing he might be best at.
Yep.
And you're just like, nah, we ain't going to do it. Doesn't make sense.
It should help you protect Spencer Rattler. It should help you get a 2nd and 5. When you're in games like last week, when you're down and you have to abandon the run, so Alvin ends up with only 11 rushes, well, then you should throw him the ball. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just like one of them things where like football as a whole is going more toward like wider screens, and these feel like very trendy people, kind of like.
Sure.
And I think, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. That's something that absolutely.
Did you say? I'm sure you just said it, but I'm curious. So repeat it for the audience if they missed it, like me. What'd you say Saquon was last year?
Like 4 or 5. Like he didn't have many.
So they didn't do that.
They didn't really throw him to him.
I mean, they didn't need to, I guess, but
he's not a good catcher though.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's a good like.
Even
receiver.
though he didn't he have like a 95 catch season once or a 91 catch?
I don't know,
season
but like
once?
that's not really like his forte. All right, going on to the next topic presented by Aaron Rose. You think they cover the 15.5 spread?
I'm gonna say yes. For some of the reasons you said, I don't think Buffalo has a shutdown defense. I think either Buffalo could mess around for the first. I mean, I'm looking right at that Miami game a couple weeks ago where I don't think the Saints will be tied 21-21 with 7 minutes to go like Miami was, but Buffalo can give you some points early in the game. And if they don't, and Buffalo's ahead 30-10 late in the game, I think the Saints can get some cheap. I mean, 15.5 is a lot. If it was 13.5, I'd feel less confidence. But I think they can, score late if they have to cover 15.5 points. The Saints aren't incompetent on offense. Like they've shown they can move the ball this year. I don't think they're going to be super competitive in this game, but I feel okay with covering 15.5.
It moved to 15.5. Started at 16, so it moved a little bit. That's interesting.
Let me see if it's still there. That's the last I saw when I
I mean, I'll say they cover it, but like I don't feel confident about it at all. I feel like this game could easily get out of control on them. No problem. So
Kind of looks like 15.5 across the board. Actually, there's 115 I see.
yeah. So I'm gonna say sure, but I wouldn't place my own money on it.
What if it was 13.5? Who would you like? You have a free bet and you're going to win, something, and the spread is 13.5. What would you do?
I'd probably take Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might still take the Saints because I believe in that. Like they could get the touchdown late.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to. I mean, I think a game has to really unravel like what we saw in Seattle for it to be one of those. Oh, you're down by 24. I don't think the Saints are at that level unless they come out and they commit 8 more penalties and they get a punt blocked and they get a punt returned. And we can't rule that out until we see more from them.
Yeah, I mean, my only concern on it would be, and if you're actually like looking at this for the other way, I feel like there's also man, they should have turned the ball over a lot of times last week, and when they started pressing and trying to come back, it started to get really dangerous. And,
that's a really good point.
And I don't know if you get away with that 2 weeks in a row, so that would have to really change.
That's a good point.
So I would kind of hold right here. That one number is a little too high because like 3 scores, it's hard to lose by 3 scores in the league, but 2, yeah, I could see 2.
Yeah.
I could see 2 for sure. All right, we're gonna hit a quick break and we'll be right back. Big news from the home team, introducing our newest sponsor, the Mortgage Brothers. With over 30 years of combined experience, the Mortgage Brothers are the quarterbacks of home lending, calling the right plays to get you across the goal line. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned vet, they'll coach you through every down and make sure you feel like part of the team. They're backed by Cross Country Mortgage, the #1 retail lender in the nation, so there's no loan playbook they can't run. FHA, VA, conventional, RD, and more. They're lifelong season ticket holders, local guys who know the field and your market, and their online application takes less than 10 minutes. Why fumble your mortgage with some online lender who's never even watched your team play? Stick with the Mortgage Brothers, the trusted pros who play to win. Mention NOF and get $500 back in lender credit toward your closing costs. That's money back in your pocket when it counts. Visit mortgagebros.money and start shopping with confidence. Because with Mortgage Brothers, it's always no flags, no fumbles, just smooth closings every single time.
Score big with kickoff combos at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company. Don't pass on your choice of our seafood combos or our slider specials. Served with a side of garlic herb fries. Run in now for specials starting at $9.99 at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Why should I get Gordon?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I fight for the people of Southeast Louisiana every day. I got a client who injured their neck in a car wreck, $250,000. Another client was hit by a big truck and needed back surgery. I got them $700,000, and they deserved every single penny.
That's what I'm talking about. Why wouldn't I get Gordon?
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, just call me, New Orleans. Get it done.
Call 504-800-8888.
You ever take a bite of something and immediately think, yeah, I'm coming back for this? Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant just added some new dishes, and man, they crushed it. The shrimp and crawfish pistolets, golden and stuffed with bold Cajun flavor. Fried oyster tacos, crispy, fresh with the perfect kick. And the soft shell crab Alfredo, creamy, rich, and absolutely worth the order. They're open 7 days a week, and they deliver late. Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Delicious food, superior service. Whether you are a local New Orleanian or a fan in town for the game, get your pre- and post-game fired up at Aaron Rose. Local chaos and local love for the black and gold. Wake up and live with daily drink specials, mimosas, screwdrivers, Bloody Marys, and hot or frozen Irish coffees, all just $3 or $4 between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Aaron Rose, half a block from Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, 811 Conti Street. Attention Saints fans, don't let pests and termites invade your home field. Trust the team at Red Pest Solutions to tackle those unwelcome visitors. Call the Red Man today for unbeatable pest and termite control. Score peace with no pest. Visit redpest.com, REDDPEST.com. Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football. It is now time for the Get Gordon question of the day, presented by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Crestfallen82 asks, what does Shuck coming in to close out the game last week signify, if anything, outside of Kellen Moore getting him some live reps?
Yeah, I don't think it signifies anything. I by that point, they had pulled most of their starters. Even when he played, they had also pulled Eric McCoy and Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara and everything like that. It was the natural time to do it. But we are seeing a trend where Vernon Broughton played in the second week. Quincy Riley played more in the third week. Isaiah Stallworth played more in the third week. So this is a team that has an eye toward getting reps for future guys. I mean, they know what's at stake when it's quarterback. When you can't just work a quarterback into the game. You make that switch and you make that switch. But it is a team that is not playing like the future doesn't exist. It's a team that is readily acknowledged the future exists. So combined with all the young guys they've been putting into the game, I think that signifies something more than the 3 plays we saw from Tyler Shuck.
Yeah. I also this is just a normal situation where you put a young guy into the game, so they get over probably the like, holy shit, I'm going into an NFL game moment, in a spot where it doesn't matter. So then next time maybe that's lessened a little bit, and they know what the jolt of energy is going to feel like the first time you take a snap and all that stuff. I think that's probably what it was about. That's a normal spot.
Yeah.
I found it hilarious. Like you hop, like man, everything's just so like radicalized and just so out of control with the way people talk about stuff. Like the first pass, like I hopped on Twitter and I looked, and there's like so many people being like, "This is why he didn't win the battle." I was like, "Yo, it's his first pass in an NFL game." Like
he did miss that throw. Though.
He did. He missed it back, but that doesn't say it's one throw. Like get out of here, man. Like it's absolutely outrageous. Like no, I've seen enough. Like. What are you talking about? It's one throw. And then the next one, Mike McDonald like blitzes him, which is outrageous too. Like I just couldn't believe it looked like that. But yeah, I don't think it means nothing other than they let him touch the water so he knows what the water feels like.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's it.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
All right, that's going to do it for today's show. We'll talk to you next time.